on. So let's talk a bit about that and kind of the castings that you love. Which ones are your favorite, and what it's like to see one and go, okay, I'm gonna have to have one of everything. So let's start there.
Well, a lot of the castings that I collect that I try to get like every variation of, they're mostly Hot Wheels, aside from my Auto World collection, which I'm a completionist in that regard, but that's completely different. But as far as Hot Wheels castings go, it's a lot of the, the cars that were poster cars from my childhood, like your Porsche 959, Ferrari Testarossa, Lamborghini Countach, the Dodge Vipers in there too. Just cars that I really liked when I was younger. And those are kind of castings that I went after and trying to complete all of them. A lot of them are older Hot Wheels castings that I like to do. And then, I got jammers for each one. So like Porsche 959, got a full jammer, just full of different variations there. But I don't know if you can see that, but but there you go. It's the best we're gonna do. But yeah, it's always fun. And I don't like, the fun part about it is I really kind of don't like actively try to like hunt out certain variations. I kind of just let them come to me, and when I see something that's a good deal, I just pounce on it. That's
right.
The way that
I feel about it. And that's the thing now, being a completionist, like you can the how you do it is almost as important as what you're doing, because anymore it's so easy to go on eBay, Mercari, whatnot, whatever, and just find it and buy it. Yeah. So, you can just bankrupt yourself real quick trying to, because it's just there. But it's really cool. Like I had to do that basically with my collection, is just go, I'm not buying anything more online. I just have to, it has to find its way to me. Otherwise I'm just gonna.
And in a way, maybe I'd be sad if I did complete the casting, then the quest is over.
No hills left to conquer.
Yeah. So
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's fun. It's a fun to try to get every variation of some of those older Hot Wheels, especially that Dodge Viper, the older Dodge Viper, too, because there's so many like ugly but weird releases of that.
Sure, and that is a casting that has evolved. And I was thinking about that when you talked about that 959. That's one that's gotten a lot better from the first release. Boy, that was an interesting take on it the first time around.
Yeah, a little rough when it first came out.
I like the old casting, the old one that came out in the when it first released, probably like early 90s, late 80s, maybe late 80s, maybe. Early 90s. I don't think it's a bad cat. I think it's a pretty decent tooling. But yeah, I love that car, and have fun collecting. Now the RLC one that came out this year is definitely my favorite RLC release.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. How much it evolved. Yeah.
Now that thing's beautiful, and I'll get every single version of that ever comes out. I will. That'll be on the list. That'll be added in.
I've got a weird version of that 959 casting. It's one of the textured mirror ones that had the weird wrinkly finish on it. And I still haven't figured out how they did that, because it's like, is this a paint? Is it a decal? Like
it's a plastic car. It's a plastic.
Is it plastic?
Body.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought it was like on top of the diecast. So that's interesting. Okay, so if I go to strip the paint off, I'm going to have nothing left.
Yes, don't do that.
Don't do that. Okay, just enjoy it as it is. So yeah, that's one of those ones I have from way, way back in my childhood collection. That's just kind of hung around because it's a little quirky and weird. But yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Like I have that nostalgia for like the Larry Wood-ish era designs, the crack ups, the 82 Seville, the ones that I grew up with, that are like, objectively not great castings because they were done with, analog tools, and they were done to be stylized and of their time, but you still, it's your first love, you know, and it's great that we've got these things like Auto World now that are so incredibly accurate. And I again, shout out to Round 2 with the Auto World project, because I still can't believe the amount of, are there better diecasts out there? Sure, absolutely. But when you think about that, you can go into a Walmart and buy this thing for $5, and as good as that is, and it is a true 164 spec vehicle.
Yep.
And they've been able to keep it at that price point. It's just incredible. But
that's why I've been in love with that brand for so long. Since opening up my first one, and just being like excited about it, because I'm like, wow, these are really nice for the price. It's like crazy.
Yep.
So,
and you collect. Oh, go ahead, David.
I was going to say it's your gateway to the really higher end premium brands. That's how it goes for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of a sudden you're like, oh, these could actually look like real cars,
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about them Greenlight M2, the guys that are somehow managed to have the premium feel while still being in a Walmart store. And yes, the quality control on some of those is a lot more hit or miss than it's going to be if you buy a Tamika limited vintage, but you're also not paying $60 for a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. Which again, I just saw that video you did with the Miura, and good grief, that's a beautiful thing that they did with Tamika limited vintage on the Miura, with the opening front and back. And but so I don't think we talked about this too much, but let's talk a bit about how you got into, what was that moment of discovery with Auto World, and when did you decide that the Ultra Reds were going to be your thing?
Well, originally this would have been 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember, I started getting deep into the Hot Wheels thing and started going, pallet rating, as you know. And but then I would also like stop because I worked by a Walmart, so I would hit it really early in the morning before going to work. And then I noticed that there were other brands that had chases, like their version of the Super Treasure Hunt or whatever. I found, like, the day I even learned it, like the night I learned it, I found an Ultra Red the next day, basically, in Walmart. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to pick this up. And then I thought, I should do a video on these cars. So I picked up one from each like tier, because at that time there was the deluxe, carded stuff, which you're seeing in Target now. And then there was the premium release, and then the licensed premium was what they called it, the Auto World that came in an acrylic box in a clamshell sort of pack. So I picked up one each of those, and then I had to open them up, of course, for the video. And I didn't open the chase at the time, but I bought a regular one of the deluxe model, and I opened it. And ever since then, it was just like, yeah, I really like these. And then I was like, I'm going to look for chases of these, because at that time, it didn't seem like anybody was really looking for them. And so I'm like, well, this is low hanging fruit where I can collect some chase cars, that without a lot of competition for them. So that's kind of how it started.
Very
that
cool.
makes sense.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, absolutely.
David, you want to?
You got anything to show us?
Do I got anything to show you?
Yeah, Dave. We all love. Hey, listen.
Well, yeah, you guys mentioned
we love your videos, and we know you crank them out faithfully, and you're one of the reasons that a lot of us collect, and you're definitely one of the reasons a lot of us open our stuff up.
I love being an influence for opening up the cars. But this, you guys mentioned this in the last video when you guys were talking with Chad Reed. This is that. I don't know if we're going to get it to focus.
There you go.
This is Mike Gruthis.
Gruthis. Yeah. I had to say it like 10 times when he was on beforehand.
I've heard it a million times, and I still can't. I can't.
I have to remember, I am Groot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see if we can get that to focus.
There we go. There it is.
Yeah. So anyway, this is the prototype White Lightning.
Oh, that's nice.
So a pre-production, not prototype, whatever, pre-production White Lightning, and he signed that for me and gave it to me when I visited those guys.
Yeah, they mentioned you stopped by.
Yep, right on the way to the Hot Wheels convention. So I got to meet those guys, and then I got to go hang out with John Lamley at the convention. It was a really cool week, meeting some people. So that was really neat.
And but look, guys, and I'm talking to the viewers. This is a reminder: if you like cars, start making videos, and your passion will turn into something where you get to meet some really cool people sometimes.
Yeah, or start shooting photos. I've really gotten into that, like doing the photography thing with the little cars. That's like my favorite thing to do right now. I almost like make my decisions of what I'm going to buy based on whether or not I want to shoot it. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, it's absolutely correct. And this is a wonderful hobby in that a lot of the brands, like I said, kind of in the A block, we have brands that listen in this hobby, which is really nice, and that they're accessible, that you can reach out and you can leave a comment on a round 2 video and Chad will see it and respond to it. or you can directly reach out to these guys on Instagram. And even the bigger guys like Hot Wheels and stuff, like we didn't think we could get anyone from Hot Wheels on the show, and we got Brendan on, and we're gonna have I mean, Larry's retired, but we're gonna special announcement, we're gonna have Larry Wood on in a few weeks. That's awesome. Which is very exciting. So so be sure to like and subscribe and ring that bell so you can be around for that interview. We are so thrilled about that. And again, that's why we started this. We wanted to get to know the community better and talk to folks like Dave and everyone from Dave to Fireball to Larry to Brendan and Chad, and it's just been really great. And I'm still trying to get my own Champion DJK van. I've got an alert set on eBay. That's one of the ones that is an exception to my I'm letting it organically come to me rule. So I'm trying to get something from every one of our guests, and for Jakari Diecast project, I've decided it's just going to have to be a sticker because there's no way I'm buying one of his cars. They are way too valuable. Or I'm going to sneak over to Mark's place and steal his. I know he's got that one. He's got that one behind lasers, and
it's right there behind me by the golf.
Yeah, exactly. Thing. He's like, you got to come through me to get that. But yeah. So when it comes to like the ultra reds and stuff, like you're just like you're trying to get like all of them, right? Like one of each.
Yeah.
Or at least one of each.
At least one of each. Yeah. Sometimes I get more than one of some.
Yeah. Is there
on accident? I don't know how it happens, but yeah, just occasionally. But, yeah, especially like I kind of focus more on the store releases than I do the hobby exclusive releases, mostly because of just availability and cost. Because a lot of like if I went after every single square body ultra red that's ever come out, from hobby releases, it would that would bankrupt. That'd be a collection just by itself.
Sure. Right.
And then of course there's the ultra raws too, if you want to get into that craziness. But which I have 10 or so of. But yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, any store release stuff, any like Auto World store exclusive stuff like that, I do try to get the chases for it, and I try to get the chases for all of them, I should say. But again, I can't go after every single one because they're just it gets out of hand really quickly.
Is there one that you've been like really wanting that's been kind of eluding you, a white whale, if you will?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a couple. One would be the Walmart exclusive Firebird. This would have been from, I want to say it's like Premium Release 5, which is a very odd release from Auto World. This is before they did years, so it wasn't like 2017 Release 1 to whatever, blah, 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 blah. This was just Premium Release 5. That had version A, version B, C, and D. And then they had Walmart exclusive of the Firebird in that release. But anyway, I have 2 of the Ultra Reds out of the 3 possibilities for what that car would look like. I'm missing the Walmart exclusive one. That would be one that's been on the list for a long time, is going to be hard to find. Other ones would be Auto World in 2017 was putting out store exclusives or hobby exclusives, but not really for any particular hobby dealer. There was a GT40 release where they came out with one that was kind of golf colors, and then they came out with one that was black. And there's an ultra red for each one of those. I believe the original, the release of the car, I think was limited to 1,256 per car, but there's ultra reds of those. And yeah, good luck ever finding those. And when you do, good luck finding them at an affordable price. But there's 2 ultra reds there that I don't have that, hopefully one day I will run across.
All right. Well, anybody out there with those, make sure you let him know. Shoot him a message. We got a couple of comments coming in. Somebody asked if there was, let's see, Aaron Scott asked if we get maybe an updated room tour video in the near future.
I should. I usually try to do that around Thanksgiving-ish time or at the end of the year. And if I can get this place cleaned up a little bit, I could do that.
Wasn't there like an overhaul maybe a couple years ago? Didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Revamp it.
I did. Yeah, I had to put up like what's behind me here. I think went up during that time. I painted the walls and stuff in here. I was going to put new flooring in, and I never did that. But yeah, I did kind of revamp everything. As far as for cases on the walls go, I'm pretty much set. Like there's no moving it around now. Like they're full. So,
Mark, you better get to cracking, man. You got a lot of bare walls in that room.
No, this room. This is the baby room. So,
all the more reason. All the more reason. You got to
you got to
train them right.
No, I got a loft in the garage. I've got to get to cracking on. So,
I'm trying to keep it to one. Well, I'm gonna have to keep it to one room. I don't think I'll have a choice, but one room.
Yeah, I've got my I've got my room and I've got the garage space, and that's about it.
Yeah,
and that's okay. It's plenty of, this is where I do my day job out of here, and I do all my building out of here. And I'm grateful for the space that I have. So
I can fit very close to 3,000 cars on the walls.
Nice.
About 2,280. 2,880.
He's done the math.
2,880. I can't even say the number, but yeah, a lot of them, almost 3,000 cars.
Dave, it's gonna be like a light earthquake, and you're just gonna have to redo it all.
Thankfully, we're in Wisconsin, so
I was gonna say not a lot of earthquakes there.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. But
do you know that, Dave? Do you know that guy in Canada, WTTF?
Oh yes. Yeah. He's one of the first channels I ever watched on YouTube.
Oh yeah, absolutely. His channel is just overwhelming for me. It's great.
Lot of stimuli.
Yeah,
I love his Blackwall videos where he goes over the years and that. That's my favorite era of like historical Hot Wheels. I don't really care for the Redline stuff, but the Blackwall era is really my
that's what we grew up with. It's funny, you talk to the Bruce Pascals and the Mike Zarnoks and the Paul Udelises, and they're all Redline only, Sweet 16 only, but that's because they were like 8 or 9 years old when it came out, and you like what you like from that nostalgia is implanted in you. And so I'm with you, like the Blackwall eras, the crack ups, the
Baja Breakers,
the Baja Breakers, the all those slab sided cars are just like they feel like home to me. The Torino Stalker, the Monty Stalker, those are a little on the older side, but they were still around when I was collecting. And the first go around, there it is, that Nissan. I had that one as a kid.
I'm sending this to you, Chuck.
That's one that you're sending me to, and I played with that one specifically so much that the hood broke off of it. I still have it. It's going to be a junker build someday, but I can't wait to get that one, because that was that old Nissan was one of my favorites. So James Gailey says, I do enjoy Auto World and Greenlight, but still favor the M2 machines and Hot Wheels premiums, but maybe my collecting is still in its adolescence phase of collecting. Well, that's okay. We're all in our own spots.
Whatever you like, James.
Yeah, what you like is good enough. The M2 has its ups and downs for me as well. I really like their new the tin grill Dodges that they've got coming out. The Dodge trucks look really, really good. They've got their 510 casting, I think, is a really nice one. They've got several of theirs. Their vans are really good. I like their Dodge A100 van a lot. It's a great casting. But,
hey Dave, did any other brand ever try and like lure you away? Like anything start catching your eye and you're like, maybe this is my new go-to?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, like Auto World, I hold like Auto World right now and Mini GT are like my two
good picks,
two my favorite brands right now. Inno64 though is not that far. They just don't put out a ton of stuff in comparison to like Mini GT is just putting out fire, like constantly, just
absolutely,
constantly releasing cool stuff where I'm like, oh man, I need that. And it's like, for a minute I was like milling in my head that I was going to try to like go after a full complete collection of Mini GT, and then I realized that would not be a good idea. But
that hurt. You would never financially recover from that.
All those there's all like these weird little one-off exclusives and stuff. Yeah, that would be impossible. But actually this year Tarmac Works though has really caught my
I was just gonna say.
I was literally just gonna say, have you checked out Tarmac Works lately?
Yeah, I mean they just this year in particular, I've just been putting out a lot of crazy good stuff. And like that F40 casting.
Oh yeah,
just that IXO collab or whatever. They're just they're tempting me hard now too. So but yeah, Mini GT and Auto World are definitely my two main squeezes, I guess.
Tarmac has got a J collection. They're doing some retro 70s Japanese stuff, and I can't wait. They're all going to be.
They might as well have made it out to David.
Yeah, they're all going to be street cars. They're all
Put
going to be
your credit card
pavilion. Yep.
So
that's good. You've stayed faithful to your first love. I can respect that.
Well, technically that would be Hot Wheels, but whatever.
Well, we all start somewhere, and depending on where you were born in the world, it's either Hot Wheels or Matchbox, because that's what you see.
That's
first.
right.
Yeah, most likely.
So, Simon's Car Stuff says, love your IG feed, DJK, quality diecast photography.
Thank you, Simon.
Yeah, and Syed over from the Champion DJK simulcast says close-up shots of how bad the print quality on HW premiums. So well, it's sad. We were talking about the close-up photography, and it's kind of the catch-22 of 1/64 scale, is it looks so good in your hand, and proportionally, and when you get up close, the printing does kind of falter on some of these ones, especially the more mass-produced ones. I will say that they are getting better. I got this one. This one's been my desk car for like a week. The new Jaws Blazer that Hot Wheels just put out from the movie Jaws that the sheriff drives. And I love this one. It's a great casting, and again, is it as good as the M2 Blazer casting? I don't think so. But, for Hot Wheels, it's really good. And it's a really nice, accurate casting as far as it's got like the right license plate. The graphics are right. And it's just a really fun take on an iconic vehicle. So, they all have their pros and cons. And again, I still haven't figured out where I shake out on which brand is my go-to brand. It might be Greenlight, just because I buy a ton of them, because they have a lot of Malaise era, cars. But I mean, I still love the guys at Round 2 for the amount of energy that they're putting into new castings and really tapping into. They've really tapped, both of those brands, Greenlight and Round 2, have both really tapped into that 70s, 80s nostalgia. Us late Gen Xer, early millennial guys that are now in our in age, and looking back at the cars of our youth. So, well, thank you everybody so much for the comments that are coming in. We got people watching and listening from both sides. I'm seeing linked comments from Champion DJK's channel. So again, keep those coming. We're loving to see those. So let's see what else we got. Mark, you got a question? You got a comment?
Where's all the Datsun 510s? Where are they all?
I mean, I have Datsun 510s. I've got lots of them. But
why?
You guys want to guess how many Ultra Reds, not including doubles, do you think that I have?
Mark, go first.
I don't even know. I've stayed away from Ultra Reds because it's a new rabbit hole just to like ruin my life. So when I go to the store, I don't
just
even
number, sir. Just a number.
I don't even know how. I don't know the numbers. I don't know how many were created. So it's like
there's a lot.
300, 302,
302. Since we're going prices right, I'm going to say I'm going to say 303. And anything higher than that, I win. And Mark is stuck.
And I'll do 304.
No, crap.
No, I'll do 260.
All right.
Yeah, I bet it's lower.
334.
Oh.
So you guys,
Mark, you were like spot on. You had no idea. That was a good guess.
I felt like I was going high, but then I also know that Dave's a sicko, so it's like, yeah, that might be right.
So,
and that would be unique ones that I don't have doubles of.
Say that number again.
334.
All right, guys, when we come back on our next segment and we do this game, you're going to do some math, and it's going to hurt when you figure.
Yeah.
When
I'm hoping that he didn't pay these prices. And that's kind of something that we wanted to talk about as well, is the aftermarket scene, because a lot of times you can't find these things in stores. And the aftermarket for so much of this is out of control. And we did a whole episode on that S word, and we're not going to talk about that here. People have complimented us on not saying the S word in our sessions lately. But it is what it is. The opportunity to find these on the pegs anymore is so rare, and you've got to be so on the spot. And so we do have to rely a lot on the aftermarket scene. So, Dave, let's talk a little bit about, where you find your best deals and what you do when you're trying to find these things, because you're not going to find them on the shelf.
Yeah. So the best deals I ever find, honestly, we have a local like club, Diecast club thing, where we meet it every month, and we have like a swap meet. And honestly, that's the best place. I mean, everybody there knows that I love ultra reds and whatnot, and love those chases. And the only chase I collect really is ultra reds. So typically when they find them, they do come to me because they know I'm going to be interested in it right away. So yeah, I mean, that's usually where I find the best deals, is actually going to places like that where it's person to person selling. You can score them on eBay from time to time for a decent price, but I would argue that's really tough nowadays. Back in the day, people were just giving away ultra reds, when I first started collecting them. And I'm so glad too that I got into it when I did, because I would be completely screwed now if I were to try to go back and get some of the stuff I got back then. Trying to find it now, like, you can't even go to eBay and find a lot of it because it's just not there. So but yeah, finding deals and stuff like that most of the time have been like person to person sales, and or people just coming to me through social media and wanting to trade or sell things to me through that. And that's usually where I've gotten the best deals, just networking.
Yeah.
And you've also even made videos I've seen, like how to strategically shop on eBay.
Yes.
How to set alerts and go make sure that you're looking at what it sold for versus what people are just charging.
Yep. That's a good reminder. I should do that again. I haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah,
because
there are a lot of misconceptions about how to find stuff on eBay. But yeah, and like I said, it could get really dangerous for your bank account real fast, because eBay is literally designed to keep feeding you that stuff and get you to bid more and get that extra. The thing for me is always going, okay, well, what else do they have? Can I get this and get the I hate paying shipping is like the worst thing for me. I hate paying shipping. So I'm always trying to figure out how do I get as much as I can so that I feel like I'm paying as little percentage of this as shipping as possible. And that next thing you know, you end up buying like 20 cars from one guy. So but yeah, it's interesting. And some folks are saying in the comments that they're they don't have these communities, or they don't have some kind of club, or they don't even have stores available. And we mentioned this briefly, but the Hot Wheels conventions and the things, the destination type events where people have to travel to. So specifically we're looking at, actually David and I are looking at going to a Hot Wheels convention in 2024. And Mark is of course welcome, but I think he's going to be occupied with a little big Hot Wheel on his days then. But do you have any advice for going to one of those? Because the Hot Wheels convention specifically, like you would think like that's all just going to be Hot Wheels, but it's not that, right?
No, definitely not. And actually, that's a good point. If you don't collect Hot Wheels, Hot Wheels convention is almost the perfect place to find good deals on stuff that's not Hot Wheels, because a lot of the people are very hyper focused, of course, on Hot Wheels. So you can get good deals. Like, I've gotten some really cool old green light stuff. I found some really cool ultra reds too when I was at my last convention. But yeah, that's I love doing that. I also like when I'm in Facebook groups shopping around, because there's people that are Facebook sellers that will buy collections and they will sell online. The majority of people on there are very Hot Wheels. So I love going to places like that, because then nobody's bidding on the other stuff, and I usually can score good deals. So, but yeah, the only advice is just wear some walking shoes, because you're talking floor upon floor upon floor of walking up and down, and looking through stuff and looking through bins. And I mean, that is the one. If there's anything to do at a Hot Wheels convention, like the room to room shopping around, I mean, you could spend hours in there every day that they're doing it, and still keep finding new stuff. So that is definitely the highlight for me whenever I've gone.
Another thing to look into are toy shows. I don't know how it is in state to state, but Florida has a very well organized toy circuit, and we have like 2 shows a year in Tampa, Orlando. There's one in Gainesville now. So some of the smaller towns are getting them. Jacksonville gets them, and in most states, I imagine there's a toy show within 2 or 3 hours of where you live. And those are another place to get really good deals, especially if you're a customizer or you're looking for some things to fill out your collection, because those guys will be selling off a lot of used stuff, and they'll have like stuff underneath grab bins and stuff if you're looking for just raw material vehicles and stuff to build from. And that's kind of my favorite places to go when I'm looking to add more stuff to my collection.
Yep.
So Aaron Scott says, it's a shame conventions used to be a place to get deals on Hot Wheels. Now anymore, it's taxed to top market value plus. Yeah, that is true. People are definitely feeling the dollar signs when it comes to selling off their cars in their collection. But yeah, Naruto Wolf says Facebook Marketplace is decent if you get to know the seller. He got a Super Treasure Hunt 71 Datsun 510 for $25 because he was kind to the seller. So yeah, that's another thing too, is, putting yourself out there, be a good buyer, be a good seller. Remember that, well, this is a transactional thing. Those people know other people, and they probably have other stuff in their collection that you might like. So, remember that this is as much about relations as it is transactions. And, if you're a good person and you're kind to others and they see that and you're working in this community, it's a huge community. Like the stat I like to throw around is there are 15 million Hot Wheels collectors in the world. And that's according to Mattel. And that's just Hot Wheels. That's not the people that are collecting other stuff that's not Hot Wheels. And the average collection of one of those people is 1,500 cars. So, you're seeing the tip of the iceberg probably with somebody selling something. So, and they probably know other people, and that's, that's how you got to do it. Now you got to network, you got to build those relationships, because otherwise you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it one way or the other. You're going to pay for it in social time and effort, or you're going to pay for it with your bank account. And so that's another thing to keep in mind. Simon's Car Stuff says thrift stores and Goodwill grab bags, you just can't beat them. It's true when you can find them. They've been kind of few and far between. I did have one thing very early on where I ended up with 4-gallon bags of vintage 80s majorette diecasts that just happened to be in a Goodwill one day, and I got them for like $7.99 a bag.
Yeah,
I've got this video. It's way back in my YouTube channel. I was just like, I can't believe this. It was like 12 pounds of vintage majorette cars and Matchbox.
A lot of miles.
And I was just like, how did these even get here? But yeah, it's true. There's a lot of opportunities out there. Naruto Wolf says, wait, Goodwill sells diecast. Yeah, they'll sell just about anything.
Yeah.
It's you just gotta be there at the right place at the right time. And there's a couple local thrift shops that I like to go to. Another place that I've found is baby consignment stores. The places that sell cribs and baby clothes and stuff like that, they will have bins of toys.
Diecast.
And I found a vintage Hot Wheels Crasher in there. I found a Crack Up in one. I found several Black Walls in this one kids consignment shop, because what they'll do is they'll just bag up old Hot Wheels cars, and the condition is going to be not mint. But if you're just looking for weird vintage off the wall stuff, especially as a customizer, it's great, because you can get them for about $1 a car, and they don't know what they got. So it's just another
vintage.
Weird place to look. Vintage, yes. So Reno says Value Village has some major rally cars yesterday, and the Hot Wheels Peugeot. Cool. So all right, well, awesome. Well, I think are going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we're going to let David do this game of his. I'm very excited about that. So we'll be right back in a short minute, so stick around.
Don't touch that dial. Diecast Breakdown will be right back after these messages.
This episode of Diecast Breakdown is brought to you by you. That's right. We are 100% viewer and listener supported, and we are so grateful for those of you who have already supported the podcast and the shows we're planning to add to the Diecast Media Network family. You can find out more about how to support this project by visiting diecastmedianetwork.com or email us about sponsoring an episode at diecastbreakdown@gmail.com. The best way you can support what we're doing right now, though, is to subscribe and share these episodes with your family, friends, and Facebook groups. Anyone you think would enjoy what we're doing. Any extra attention we can get early on will go a huge way in helping this project grow. Thank you so much for sharing this journey with us.
Hello, this is Diecast Dude from the Netherlands, and you are watching Diecast Breakdown.
This presentation of Diecast Breakdown is brought to you by Twice Diecast and Dotson Man Diecast on YouTube. Please visit their links in the show notes and subscribe to their channels for more epic Diecast content.
Hey, this is Champion DJK, and you're watching Diecast Breakdown.
And now, the thrilling conclusion of this week's episode of Diecast Breakdown.
Hey, I know that guy. We are back, and we have got a great crowd here. 71 people. Thank you. 72. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I'm loving seeing all the comments coming in from both channels. It's very exciting to see that. And what is also exciting is this game that we've been teasing that David put a lot of work into, and we're going to see if we can stump the expert here.
Oh, I'm going to get stumped.
Yeah.
maybe
this will be a reality check for some and a wake-up call for others. We'll see.
All right, Dave. So we've talked about Ultra Reds. We've talked about Ultra Raws. We know that you are the guru of such said chase pieces. So what we'd like to do, we're just going to flash 5 Ultra Reds and maybe an Ultra Raw. And these were all found on eBay. These are either currently up for sale or really recently sold. And I just want to see your radar, if it's tuned to what these things are typically going for. And I also want to show the viewers that some of these things are through the roof, and they're really collectible. So you've chosen wisely.
Yeah, and everybody, make sure you leave yours in the comments below. We'll take a few of your guesses.
Yeah, we'll take some guesses.
I have a feeling I'm going to fail miserably.
No. I think you have looked at all of these. You've probably got these postings saved as well. All right, Chuck.
Do we make sure that they're not him selling them?
I did not do that. I didn't. It might be his burner account. We'll never know.
Burner account.
All right, so Chuck, if we could flash the first one up, it should be a square body. All right. What you were talking about, Dave, there's a million different versions of these. I don't know anything specific, so I'm going to assume this is not one of the crazy, hard to find ones. So what do you think an 83 Silverado Ultra Red, which sold in July of 23, what do you think it went for?
It went in July?
Yep.
Let's go $40. Are we going with shipping or not with shipping? Let's go without shipping, if possible.
I don't know. I guess it went without shipping because eBay wouldn't quote that, would they?
No, it would usually just show the sale price, which, you know, as Pete pointed out, it could be the shipping price is built into the cost. If you're saying,
we'll just say around $40.
All right, $40. Michael says $40.
That's a lot of people are guessing.
Cecil says 60. Dane says 100. C. Pearson says 36.
Mark, what's your guess? Or do you know already?
25. I'm going to go 25. I'm going to go low scale on it for some reason. I don't know why.
30 is 60, 32. We got a lot of guesses here.
All right, and we'll ramp it up. But guys, Dave, this one went for 102.50.
Oh,
why would that be?
Nah.
Yep.
Why would that be? Is that just somebody?
I don't know. That seems a little fishy.
Impulse buy?
102.
102.50.
That's actually.
Can you tell me how many bidders there were on this, or whether it was a buy now?
I cannot.
Okay, then what can you tell me, David?
Well,
I can tell you it went for 102.50.
I can tell you Dane Self got closest.
I can tell you whoever bought it overpaid.
Yeah.
That's way.
Idiot Simple Custom $8.99.
$8.99. Yeah, we got Michael Newland in the chat here. He says way high, and I agree with him. That's
all right. Well, I hope somebody watching was not the buyer for that. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's go to. We heard Dave talk about this one kind of already. This is a 2018 version.
I have this one actually.
1965 Golf GT40. This sold this month.
Jeez.
2018. This is a Dave, we're talking about a pretty good one, right?
Yeah, it's a good
Does that
one.
say how many were made over there on the left? I can't see. How many were made?
Not many. There's not many of it. I know that.
Wonder from the $200.
Oh, it looks like maybe $12.50. Is that right? Does that
That's
sound right?
like, yeah, I think that's like these were
That's
very
the regular run, right? Like
Yeah.
they don't put the chase number
so
on there.
multiply that by
gotcha.
2 and then 3% of that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm gonna guess this one went for, I'm gonna say, geez Louise, I'm gonna say $150, and that's conservative.
okay,
I
we
think.
got Diecast 62 saying 250, Cecil saying 200, Reno saying 274, Mike Golak's coming in at 500.
Mike says 300. Oh, I'm gonna be way off.
Mike says 300. Oh, do we have a ringer in the chat feeding
Well,
Dave?
Michael Newland is my ultra red buddy. We'll say if anybody's got a more complete collection than I do, it's him.
He says
Dane
there's
saying
75
500.
made. Goldenberg says he got it for $60 6 months ago.
And
You
he actively attacks them on eBay and buys them and spends a bunch of money. I can't.
Sean Carroll is saying 159.75.
Yeah, 75 of those made.
Yep.
Wow.
According to Michael Newland. Thanks, Mike.
Guys, this Joker went
300.
$229.36 this month.
Thankfully, I have that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hang on to that one tight.
I wonder how much I paid for it back in the day.
Not that.
Probably
Right.
probably it was
Hopefully
probably
not
like
that.
I think I spent like maybe $30. Probably.
Nice.
All right,
That's a good
let's go to number
investment.
3. Now we're talking my wheelhouse here. We got a Corvette up for number 3.
Oh boy.
It's got
this-
golf on it.
This is a Golf. This
Golf.
is
Golf automatically like triples the price. It's like I've
Yeah,
got that
exactly.
Datsun Golf RLC, and I keep
Yeah.
going. I can't believe I got 2 of them. Well, now I've got one of them because I gave one to Mark. But
Yeah, it's
So-
right behind me.
If
This-
I'm going to say $40 again. If this went for more than that, I'm going to be sad.
75.
This sold
Okay.
August 23.
all right, we're seeing
Michael says
130.
150.
Mike saying 150. Diecast 62 saying 150.
Serious, Mike?
Mike
150.
saying 75. Dane saying 75. Cecil saying 500. People are
He
loving
said
that
500 last time. That's his number. 500.
He's just typing 500 over and over again in the
It's
chat.
just Diecast just said
Copy and
500.
paste.
Yeah.
All right, this
72?
son of a gun. Rico's got $1 on it. $249.99. A
What?
couple months ago in August.
Shut
$249.99
up.
sold. He said, "Yeah, these have been crazy."
Oh my God.
So somebody had to have it.
Yeah.
That's insanity.
All right, maybe I messed up on this next one, number 4. Maybe we've already seen it.
Just real quick.
Oh, good.
There's
There
a
it
golf
is.
one for you.
Nice.
That is
Raw
that's
Corvette.
Raw Corvette.
raw, guys. All right, number 4. This
Oh,
is
did I put the
currently
same one up twice?
yeah.
No,
This was
this is a different one.
I
This
know.
one's different. This
That's
is not the
different,
golf
yeah.
one.
I think we
It's
put
the
the
white.
wrong one up the first
That's
time.
still an expensive one.
Okay, yeah.
You're good.
So let's guess how much this is for sale. Nobody Googling. I
Okay,
hope.
so the other one went for what? 225, something like
The
that.
other one sold $229.36
$229,
this
and that
month.
And so that one has black tires, and for some reason,
329.
those don't sell as much as the white tire chases because they look more like chases. I'm gonna say like $250.
Eddie coming in at 350. Michael
Yeah.
at 300.
I tell you, Mike in the comments is the one to watch. I bet you he's close.
329.
All right, I'll give a few more seconds here, guys. This
I
thing
said
is up for
250.
sale now. $349.
Ooh.
You gotta have it.
That's
You gotta have it.
dumb.
Yeah,
You gotta have it. You
I
gonna
mean,
pay for
that's
it.
an
That's
asking
silly,
price,
man.
though. You can put whatever
Right.
price you want on something.
you can.
Is that no? So there's no bids. That's just like
That's
Buy it
that's
now.
unsold.
It's a pretty new. It's a new posting, but I'll tell you
Okay.
this: I don't think he's going to take a whole lot less than that.
Yeah, I have that one, thankfully.
All right, last one. This is a fun one, Dave.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, we have got a raw chase and ultra red Mustang Mach 1. This is a current listing for sale. So we're talking about a two,
Masking price, yeah.
and this isn't asking price. So
It's probably going to be something wild.
Introduce everybody to what an Ultra Raw might bring in.
I mean, what it might bring in and what people are asking for again. It's kind of a difficult thing.
We got a lot of.
I'm going to say somebody probably posted it and wants like $600.
I'm going to say you need to multiply that times 3.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, good luck to you.
This is up for sale for $1,750, gentlemen.
Nobody's going to buy it for that.
Nobody's going to buy it, but
at least you shouldn't. Do not encourage those prices.
What do you think? What do you think somebody would get for that? Would they get
with the actual car?
Dude.
Yeah.
I remember when a 73 Mustang would cost you about $1,700.
Well, and I remember when Ultra Raws you could find easily for a while for like $100, and that was like, oh wow, I'm paying a lot for a car.
Yeah.
So yeah, those days.
Well, there and now, guys, now we know why pallet rating continues to flourish in our hobby.
Yeah, big time.
Well, that was fun. Hey, man, you were on it, but your frugalness came through, and we know you're a savvy. We know you're a savvy shopper.
Well, Michael's saying 400 for that set, but yeah.
Wow.
Michael probably has one.
Sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron's saying you can't touch a raw for less than $500. I would say that's.
I tried to make a trade for one at my last local meet.
So, do you have any ultras other than the Corvette? Do you have any within reach?
Yeah,
you can show us.
I do.
A lot of people have never seen one and might not even know what they are. Educate everybody on what an ultra raw is.
Well, they're going to be 1 of 10 produced across the line. In most cases, I should say. There are some weird ones that. Geez, I almost dropped it. So yeah, typically there's only going to be 10 made for each car in each release. So, and they don't do it for hobby releases. There's very few hobby releases that actually have raws. When I say that, like for example, like M&J Toys. Like there's most of those are not going to have raws. There are a couple that do, but any store release, they're going to be, finding the golden ticket in the chocolate bar, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's a Mach 1 for you.
Is that the one that was in that ad?
No, that one was a Black Wheel one.
Yep, same casting, different release.
Okay.
The Ultra Red actually in that release is really expensive and hard to find as well. I've got what I'd like to do with raws, like my goal with raws is to get an example of every tooling. One example of raw for every tooling that they've come out with.
Nice.
Would it be easier to buy the factory?
Probably not. But yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do. And again, sometimes these things come to me for good deals, or sometimes I have like enough to trade for them, and that's how I've acquired them. A lot of the times though, I've got people that hunt kind of for me or whatever. They look out for good deals on Auto World stuff because they may not collect it, but they always alert me to stuff, and every once in a while you can find one for a really good deal. Now it's been a while since I've found one, or never found one in the store. That would be something, or pulled one out of a case on video. That would also.
I want to hear you comment on that comment right there by Goldenberg. What about these 4-car sets?
Ultra set for $1,000, less than 10 in the world.
Yeah,
I mean that's insanity, right? 4 Ultra Raws in one package.
If you can do it, good for you, man. It's pretty awesome. I mean, I like that they got the deluxe castings back, and they're using those at Target. That's pretty neat. I mean, yeah, it would be sick to find one on the pigs though one of these days. So
I'm gonna find one tomorrow, I think.
Yeah,
probably.
I'll just go find one.
Yeah, and Christmas is coming up, and you can send it right over. That'd be great.
Reno asks, anyone remember the vid on Lamley when the
Return to Sender
was not?
Oh yeah, obviously remember that. That was the lead sled.
Yep.
Yeah. I wonder how long he'll hang on to that thing.
All right. DJK, what's your favorite Corvette brand? Asks D. Henry.
My favorite Corvette brand?
I don't know.
I guess.
What does that mean?
I think that what they mean is like brand. Corvette diecast brand is. I think that's what they mean.
Corvette.
Who does your favorite Corvette?
I'm not really a vet guy.
Yeah, who is?
Just cut. Hey, just.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Auto World makes a
New
good
Balance.
One. Yeah.
Makes a good C8.
Gilbert says that he scored a raw Cadillac on Whatnot for 45. That's good if you can do it. That's nice.
Fantastic job.
Eddie says you can get a Simple Customs raw 101 for 65. Sure. Yeah. I've got aircraft stripper out in the garage. I can make you a raw. But yeah. And hey, again, this is great. We've been going for about an hour now. Before we wrap things up, we got 83 people in the audience. Mark, hit them with the Diecast Driven Dream stuff.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Let's get an update on that, because I know we just had the Diecast Day of Giving and we promised an update. So let's get that update.
Okay. So didn't quite meet our goal, but I'm going to, our goal was 20,000 cars donated to sick and less fortunate kids around the world. But we're making a lot more headway than we did last year. We did hit 10,000 cars last year, and that took a while. I think I ran it all the way up until like Christmas time or something. But we're at 9616 as of today donated, and about 35 people sent in those numbers. So big numbers coming through. There was, we had anywhere from about 2 cars donated to 2,000 cars from people's personal collections. So there's a lot of 400, 500, 600 car numbers. So if you can't donate a couple, just think there's people that donated most of their collection or half of their collections, 2,000 cars. So it's not that hard to donate a couple cars to your local charities. Salvation Army, you've got Samaritan's Purse, you've got Goodwill. I think we were talking about Goodwill. There's a lot of good stuff that happens from them. So yeah, there's just find the local charity that you guys like, turn in some cars. If you've got duplicates of cars, I'm sure we all do. I know we all do, because I just donated a ton of duplicates, ones that I was like, oh, I need this. Oh, I need this. And I've, you got a bunch of R32s. I'm like, I have 42 of these cars. I need maybe 2, one to open, one to put on the shelf. So if you've got duplicates, or if you've got extra stuff that you can part with, if you don't have any, ultra reds or, whatever that you can part with,
you don't have to give your raws away.
You don't have to, although I did throw some chases in there, and there was some IDs and stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm going to extend it for at least a couple of weeks to see what we can do in the next couple of weeks and try to.
We got to hit it. We got to hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I've definitely got to get past last year's,
there you go, Charles.
Total was a little over 10,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of people out there. There's the community is extremely generous. Like I said, there hasn't been a large number of people that have donated, but a lot of cars. So people are donating a good chunk of their collection, or going out and buying them. So a good thing you could do is, if wherever you work, you can go rally some people up at work, get some, diecast cars, Hot Wheels, Matchbox together. You can put little car meets together like I've done. And I think I've got around 1,300 cars at our shop that people came and donated. So it's up to anybody that wants to put in some footwork to get some cars for kids. You can get them toys for tots, all kinds of stuff. So now is the time of year that the kids really need them. We're going to do it throughout the whole year because kids are always in need of cars, sick and less fortunate kids. But now is the time of the year that kids could really use these cars. So
yeah,
let's do it. Let's
be a part of something, because when we hit this goal, man, you're going to want to say that you were part of it, because it is truly a global thing. And it's the best part of our hobby. And
we got to shout out all the great guys that have helped, the brands that have helped, Round 2 and Maystow and Tarmac Works, and Lamley sharing the word
posting,
out.
Made a big donation.
He made a big donation. And again, like you said, that almost all those cars came from like 35 people. That's incredible.
Yeah,
like
35, 40 people.
Yeah. And if we can get, a couple hundred people to just donate 10 or 12 cars each, that's going to really impact those numbers. And and again, it's so simple. You can give these, some people were giving them away in their Halloween trick-or-treat bags. People, I gave mine to a local women's shelter where they take in kids and stuff, victims of domestic abuse. Food banks are great. Children's hospitals. My brother's church is giving to the local children's hospital in Tennessee. and they're thrilled. They love having toys and stuff to give away to kids, because these kids, if you're in a hospital, you're stuck for hours with nothing to do, and the TV is terrible, and you're in a miserable place, and you're in pain, and you can just have a little car to roll around on your bed, and that is just such a nice thing to have.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hearing some cool stories coming in, people taking the time to write me where they went and why they donated to them. So it's pretty cool, somebody donated to a place where they adopted their son, or a children's hospital where they lost their friend. There's a lot of good, good and sad stories, but there's a huge impact. Shout out to Yogi at Jakarta Diecast as well. He sold his Hoonigan or Hoonicorn custom for $1,400 or something around there.
Yeah.
And he donated all that money to charity for the local kids that are less fortunate. So I think they're super expensive over there. I think they're $2.50 or $3 or something like that per Hot Wheel or somewhere around there. So he was only able to give about, which is a ton with 500, but over here it goes further, because they're more money over there. So think of it that way too. We can, we got pretty good deals on our cars compared to different countries. You can go to Safeway or Walmart and they'll have the 99-cent thing again, because we know that that's what they used to cost, but they've definitely gone up in value or price. So there's a lot of people helping this year, and I'll be shouting everybody out online and wherever I can, because I appreciate all the help from the manufacturers and stuff.
And and again, visit drivendreams.org for more info. C. Pearson's asking, do we send you a tax deduction receipt to prove how many we've donated? Mark,
no, not yet. This is more so legwork on people's part, like where they donate to that charity. They can give you a 501c if they want to, or if that's how you want to do it. Probably next year we'll have a 501c, still in the process of becoming a full-on nonprofit, so I can start collecting dollars, so I can start doing some more things with it. So
we are kind of operating on the honor system for now when it comes to donating, but again, encouraging people to take photos as well and send in those photos, because we want to I know Mark wants to do a video and show off all the photos and videos that people are taking, and that's a great way to do it as well. To if you want a receipt, please make a video, make a post, share it on your social media, say, hey, here's the cars that I'm donating and they're going to this charity, and use the hashtag DDOG to spread the word, and post it in your Facebook groups, post it in wherever it is, in Reddit, wherever you're at, where you're spending time, and let those people know.
Yeah, there's a lot of places that will give you receipts and 501c paperwork and stuff, like children's hospitals generally do, and even some Goodwill and places like that. So you just have to ask them if that's what you're looking for, because there's plenty of places that'll do it, and I'll start doing that kind of stuff eventually.
All right, well said. Well, we got to wrap things up because our guest has to get back to his family and his Sunday. Dave, thanks so much for being here. A delight, as always.
Just a couple quick things, real quick, if you guys don't mind. Whatnot stream next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sunday, about 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to be doing a giveaway on there and selling a bunch of stuff on there. You could win a Tomica Limited Vintage.
Oh, heck yeah.
Countach. So
one of the best ones.
Look at that.
That's a beautiful car right there.
With opening doors. Opening doors, people.
So I'm going to be giving away one of those. I got like a Lamley pin here. I'm going to be doing that. So I got a lot of cool stuff to give away during that. That's going to be a lot of fun. So join me on Whatnot for that one. And then, look out on IG. We've started the Lamley Awards preparation coming up here, which is probably the one thing that I really enjoy doing. For contributing to Lamley Group is doing those end of the year kind of wrap up awards and trying to select and nominate castings and all sorts of stuff for the IG polls that he posts, and the IG tournament that he posts, and the polls on the blog as well. So I'll be doing some photography for that stuff as well. So very, very cool stuff coming up.
How do they find you on Whatnot? Is it just by your
if you go to if you're new to Whatnot, if you go to whatnot.com /invite/champion DJK, that will be like my invite link to there. If you do sign up and you're new to Whatnot, I believe it gives you a $15 credit. So
nice.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So yeah, but otherwise, Champion DJK
cool
and
cars to be
everything.
had.
Very much so.
All right, and of course, check out the channel and the Instagram, and we'll be linking to the channel in the description below. I'll find that
Awesome.
whatnot link, and I'll put that in the description as well. And again, Dave, we can't thank you enough for hanging out with us again and giving up some of your valuable weekend to chat about tiny cars with us. It's always a delight.
Yep, awesome guys. Thanks. Love to do
All
it
right,
again.
now,
my friend.
all right. Well, before we do the final sign off again, I want to give a quick shout out to our patrons who make this show go. You can learn more about that at diecastbreakdown.com, or you can hit the little join button down below. Again, shout out to Twice Diecast, Donald Rashik, First and 64th Customs, and Video Geek Productions for being our executive level patrons. And a shout out again to Dane. Thank you so much for giving those memberships away. And again, thank you so much for those who like, share, subscribe. Please share this. If you're listening on the audio version, please rate us 5 stars on your favorite podcast app. That really helps the show spread and helps us get more amazing guests like, again, Larry Wood. I can't believe we got him. And we're going to have a lot of really cool stuff coming up. So be sure to stick around and punch that like button and the little bell and all that good stuff. So as always, we want to thank you for coming along with us for the ride. So until next time, stay fresh, cheese bags. What? All right. Oh boy, we have fun, don't we? All righty.